Hi guys, welcome to Behind the Bar. Today I am basically trying to figure out something to do with these. Anyone who's worked in a bar will know that it's a problem because you make all your twists for Negronis, old fashions and whatever, and then you're left with the peeled fruit. Here at Bomba, because we do sangria, we actually cut a lot of it up and use that as our fruit mix for the sangria, so a good little way to get rid of it, but we're still often left with a few more. So orange juice cocktails, fresh orange juice. One of my favorites is the Blood and Sand. So this one was first appeared in the Savoy cocktail book. Nobody's really sure whether or not, that was kind of it was actually invented for that, or whether it was around a little bit before, but it was named for a film that starred Rudolph Valentino called Blood and Sand, which was about bullfighting. So I figured this has some fresh orange juice in it, so I'm gonna use these little guys, squeeze them, and then it's got cherry heering, sweet vermouth, and generally Scotch. Just like a blended Scotch would work quite well, but I do actually have quite a nice little Welsh single malt, which is Sherrywood, so quite rich. So I'm gonna treat myself and use that because I think that'll just work really nicely with all the other flavors here. Now the only problem with using orange juice in cocktails is it can fall a little bit flat. Orange doesn't have high acid in the same way that lemon or lime juice does. So sometimes, especially depending kind of on the seasons and things, your orange juice could be just a little bit sort of sweet and round and makes the whole cocktail, like as I like to say, kind of flabby, like it just doesn't have heaps of kind of zing and direction to it. So either obviously at home you can just stick in like a little bump of lemon juice, or you can use magic little citric acid. So citric acid adjusted orange juice is definitely something that bartenders have been played around with. The idea being that obviously citric acid is what makes lemon and lime juice kind of really tart, and so if you just add a little bit of that into your orange or whatever else that you're using that maybe isn't quite as acidic, then it's going to make it pop a little bit more. There's plenty of good resources. I'll pop a couple of links below for how to actually do this and sort of measure it out. Here I'm not trying to turn this into lemon or lime juice, so I'm not going to use heaps of citric acid, and I'm just doing it for us to enjoy. So honestly I'm just going to do a little teaspoon in the juice of one orange because that's all we need for that cocktail, and I think that should be plenty. So I'd better go squeeze this and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got my freshly squeezed orange juice here. I do love filming at Bomba because I actually have all of the things that make my life a lot easier, like an actual juicer rather than having to do everything by hand. And then we're going for a teaspoon, but yeah, I've just done kind of about a quarter of this little flat tablespoon here. And that should be good to go. I'll just have a little taste. Yeah, it's a good orange actually. So yeah, actually very tasty orange, this one. I picked well from the bowl, but it does, just with that citric acid, you get that little like kind of mouth-watering tartness right at the end, which is exactly what we're looking for. And then this is nice and easy, equal parts. So 3/4 of an ounce, or I usually do about kind of 25 mils. It's an annoying one to convert, that one, of your whiskey. Generally an unpeated whiskey kind of works well here, but obviously if you like a bit of smoke, then go for it. And then 20 mils of sweet vermouth. I'm using a little local Australian one, but any of your big, Cinzano, Martini or anything would definitely work as well. Antica Formula is quite nice. It gives it a bit more richness. This one's actually a little bit more on the savory end of things, which I quite enjoy. And then your cherry heering. So this one's like a kind of dark cherry liqueur. But again, you could definitely substitute in another cherry liqueur or maybe like raspberry or something if that's what you have kicking around. And then we've got our orange juice. I'm gonna give this a little shake. Still a little bit on the sweeter side for me, so I am actually just gonna bump in a little bit of lemon juice there as well. There we go, singing now. Now our actual garnish for this is usually an orange peel, but given that I'm trying to get rid of all the peeled oranges that we have, I'm gonna go for a little cherry just to highlight that flavor in there. I am gonna give it a little rinse first though, because I don't want heaps of the syrup getting in and making this any sweeter. I'll just pop that in the bottom. And there we have a Blood and Sand. It's good. It's very like, obviously if you like a whiskey sour or that kind of style of thing, it's quite a fun other one. A little bit kind of richer and sweeter. But with the cherry here, as I said, it is kind of more of a darker kind of cherry flavor. So it's not super sort of sickly sweet. And then you get some nice botanical sort of fun stuff going on from the vermouth there as well, which gives it a nice little bitter end. And obviously, yeah, just fun to actually use orange juice in a cocktail, which doesn't happen too often other than, you know, a screwdriver. Honestly, the only problem I would say is it's not the prettiest cocktail in the world. The color is a little bit, you know, not quite maybe where we would want it to be, but it is delicious. So don't judge a book by a cover and give it a go. The Blood and Sand. So now you know.